Good day everyone, and for today's video, we will be giving you the different international and local government policies regarding the protection of human being in the face of new technologies. But before we start, intro, pasok. So I'm back again and again. So the essence of technology has solved many problems that people faced and play an important role in the development in many countries in terms of health, personal well-being, lifestyle, economies, and ecosystems. Technological progress helps or makes the society more convenient and safer. So let's have the international government policies regarding the protection of human being in the face of new technologies.
The CSIS Technology Policy. So what is CSIS? So CSIS stands for Center for Strategic and International Studies. The CSIS Technology Policy Program, it conducts research on the social, economic, and security challenges created by emerging technologies to inform effective policy, solutions, and best practices. The Technology Policy Program is a leading voice on technology policy, partnering with the private sector and governments to provide pragmatic, data-driven analysis and recommendations written for a global audience. The program research agenda includes cybersecurity, 5G networks and telecommunications, intelligence and surveillance, and privacy, emerging technology and innovation, and the political effect of the Internet.
Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty of 1968 or the NPT. The NPT limits the spreading of nuclear weapons and weapons technology to promote cooperation in the peaceful uses of nuclear energy. So this treaty was an agreement signed in 1968 by several of the major nuclear and non-nuclear powers that pledged their cooperation in stemming the spread of nuclear technology. So the treaty was a major success for advocates of arms controls because it set up precedent for international cooperation between nuclear and non-nuclear states to prevent proliferation.
The Computer Misuse Act 1990. So the Computer Misuse Act 1990 is a key piece of legislation that criminalized the act of accessing or modifying data stored on a computer system without appropriate consent or permission. There are 3 levels of penalty if you are prosecuted under the Computer Misuse Act, and they are applied according to the crime of severity of the act. The lowest level of penalty is applied if you are found guilty of gaining access to a computer without permission or officially unauthorized access to a computer. These crimes hold a penalty of up to 2 years in prison, 5,000 fine. If you gain access to a computer without permission in order to steal data or take part in another crime such as using the data to commit fraud, you will receive a sentence of up to 10 years in prison and can receive a fine of an unlimited amount, depending on the severity of the crime and damage caused, although it can be difficult to prove intent in this case. If you modify the content of a computer or provide the tools so others can do, so for example, if you distribute malware with the intent to destroy or change the contents of a computer, you can receive a prison sentence of 2 to 10 years alongside an unlimited fine. If this potential damage extends the causing harm to human welfare or puts national security at risk, the sentence could be up to life imprisonment.
Thank you so much for giving the international government policies regards to human protection, and now let's proceed to the local government policies here in the Philippines. So one of the policy here in the Philippines is the RA 10951 or the anti-fake news law. So excuse me. in the Senate Bill 1492, an act penalizing malicious distributions of fake news or false news to other related violations. And under this act, such as false news or information must cause or tend to cause a panic, divisions, chaos, violence, hate, or tend to cause exhibit a propaganda to blacken or discredit one's reputation. So this act seeks to punish the person who publishes fake news or false news in all types of media that can violate the human rights, which is to know the truth. Okay, so I have something to share to you guys that is in line with RA 10951 or the Anti-Fake News Law. I've read an article. This is coming from Bongo, that if you were suffering or you were experiencing criticism or fake news or spreading fake news against you, you can directly go to the NBI for them to verify if that certain information or that person is really spreading those false informations or malicious informations against you. So if you were really experiencing like this one or fake news, you can directly go to the NBI so that they can verify if that is acceptable.
Article 2, Section 8 of the Philippine Constitution is belong to local government policies. This law forbids the presence of the nuclear weapons in the Philippines, those nuclear weapons which can harm the health of the people of the country and also the negative impacts on the environment. Section 8. The Philippines, consistent with the national interest, adopts and pursues a policy of freedom from nuclear weapons in its territory. Freedom from nuclear weapons. It is prohibition from making, storing, manufacturing, and dumping of nuclear weapons, devices, or parts thereof in our country.
And now, let's have the Republic Act number 10175. This is an act defining the cybercrime, providing us the preventions, investigations, suppressions, and the impositions of penalties, therefore, and for other purposes. So in RA 10175, punishes content-related offenses such as cybersex, child pornography, and libel, which may be committed through a computer system. It is also penalized unsolicited communication or commercial or content that advertise or sells products or services. But there are exemptions relating to the sending of the unsolicited materials. It is not a crime if you have a prior consent coming from your recipient. The communication is an announcement from the sender to users. And if there is an easy, reliable way for the recipient to reject it, among others.
As a student, technology helped us to search some information in Google, which help us to gain information. Unlike before, you need to go to the library and find information that you need. But remember, even though there are so many advantages of using technologies, there are also disadvantages when the people become over-dependent on those technologies and neglect their health because of using their gadgets instead of eating on time. Also on jobs, instead of using human resources, those machinery and equipment reduce the availability of jobs. We destroy our nature, we destroy ourselves. So we need to become disciplined in using those technologies and be balanced to have a better life in the future.
So for the recapitulation, we are done giving you the international and local government policies regarding to the protection of the human being in the face of the new technology. And that would be all for today. I hope you enjoyed and you gain another knowledge. And that's all. Thank you. Have a great day, everyone.